The next build that I'm going to highlight is going to be 787 Prada's Whirling Assault Smith of Kitava. Now, I'm sure you've seen plenty of Whirling Assault builds out there, and you're like, wait a second, what makes this one so special? Well, do I have something to tell you? In this build, Prada uses the Smith of Kitava. Normally, people associate the Smith of Kitava with extreme tankiness, and that is true for this build. But where this build truly shines is its usage of Fire Spell on hit. This is a meta skill that is specific to Smith of Kitava that allows you to gain energy per enemy that you hit with your melee attacks. So, as opposed to something like Cast on Crit or Cast on Ailment where you have to fulfill a pretty steep condition, this is basically just saying, hey, go hit the enemy and you can now start casting spells alongside of it. Pretty crazy, right? Well, there is a small downside where the only types of spells that you can actually use with this ability are fire spells. So you can't quite go and spam Comet like every other cast on build out there. But this build uses Detonate Dead linked to Fire Spell on hit, which is actually extremely powerful. While being one of the least used abilities in Path of Exile 2, it is actually one of the strongest hitting spells in the entire game, because as the monsters that you fight get harder and harder, the spell also hits harder and harder, which essentially means that this spell is scaling infinitely as long as the monsters are getting more difficult. The reason for that is because it is a spell that deals damage based on the monster's life. You see, most of the time, when you kill a monster, it leaves a corpse, and this spell detonates that corpse and deals physical damage based off of that corpse's maximum life. So this means that as the monsters get more and more life, you are also dealing more and more damage. So if you're looking for a little bit of an off-meta build that can clear the entire screen and more with just the press of one button, I would highly recommend you to check out 787 Prada's Whirling Assault Smith of Kitava.